Hello, what do you think are the differences between having a direction and having milestones? Sometimes we think we are progressing, but we still see that things are not really moving. We think we are going towards a goal. Does it sound familiar to you? Let's say one of my goals is to have a startup in the next 2 years or 3 years. In fact, I say I do have a specific goal. I have a timeline for it, so-called a timeline for it. But since I'm always working on the startup, things have not moved. What are we missing? If my goal is to have work-life balance, I am working towards it, but things are not moving. It's coming in circles. Well, let's say I have to go in the direction of Gherkin in London. It's at number 30 St. Mary X. Now, if I have to go in the direction of it, which way do I go? Depending on where I start from, do I go north? Do I go south? Do I go left? In fact, people say that you should always visualize the goal, you should have it in your mind. Yeah, I have the picture of Gherkin in my mind. I can actually see it if I stand, let's say, even 5 miles away. I can say that I can really see my goal. I know where I have to go. But is that enough? Let's make it a little more complicated or generic, depending on how you look at it. Let's say the tip of this mountain is where you have to go. This is the goal that you are trying to reach. You can see it. You know where you want to go. Is it happiness that you want? Is it your startup, partner, life partner, business partner? Having work-life balance, time is a valid goal. We really can see how things will change when the goals are achieved. I've put money towards a little later, but yeah, money is a valid goal. Now, are we reaching there? What are the steps in between? Now, it does sound common sense, but people tend to confuse directions with the steps in between, which I call as milestone. Anybody calls them as milestone. There are smaller goals. They are goals within goals, right? Well, thanks to Google, we can actually map out how to reach the Gherkin in London. Let's say we start from King's Cross. That is a viable starting point. Now, I use public transport in this case. Sorry for making this example so basic, but sometimes common sense is really not really obvious, isn't it? So in here, what we see is that we do have to cross specific points while we are going towards the Gherkin. These are the stations via the public transport. In fact, the map also shows if you have to drive, which are the points you have to go, and those are the points we have to look out for, isn't it? Now we have a specific timeline. It takes 26 minutes from King's Cross to reach there on a specific time, because if you check during the morning, it might be slightly different. If you're driving, it might be slightly different. Now it also shows a path toward the final goal, isn't it? Now these are the milestones. Now if you really look at your own goals, if you have a startup, let's take that example. I'm always busy working on my startup, but being busy in the direction of the startup feels very useful until you realize it's not making any progress. Progress is measured by milestones and baby steps towards your goals. These milestones are goals towards a bigger goal. These are the smaller steps. Now really we have to jot it down. It cannot all remain in our head. We have to jot it down. We have to make a plan and towards the right direction, but we really have to put it down. We have to break it into small pieces. Otherwise we'll always be trying to achieve a goal. One day I'll do this, but come on, we have to start doing the small steps in between. Direction is important, but goals in the right direction are more important for real progress, real measurable progress that you can actually look at. In companies, in businesses, we are given directions and goals and somebody is on top of us. But when you really want to have a life-changing goal or a startup or something where you are the boss, now we tend to slip. We think that we are working towards losing weight, having a healthier body, and so on and so forth. Unless I make a point that I have to lose, let's say, half a pound in the next 2 weeks or 3 pounds in the next month or something of that kind, I'm not really going towards my real goal. In fact, there might be times that I might be going in a completely different direction. Instead of the Gherkin, I might reach Heathrow or somewhere else, depending on how I am going and which way I'm going. Right? And all this while, the worst part is I think I'm in the right way, on the right path. It might be right, but it's not taking you towards your goal. Now that's the sad part. Well, in order to know more what to do next, subscribe for more videos, and we will keep talking on how to get a better direction and how to ensure that we really make it to the summit, to the place where we really want to go. That's where. Step it up.